welcome to DJG News. And today we're bringing you this broadcast to give you the latest news in 1949. In Russia, they have established a democratic government. The only problem is that it's surrounded by communists. Now, Steven here is going to inform you more on the subject.
Thank you, Bob. Hello, Steven here reporting live. I have got word that tensions have increased between democratic countries and communist countries because the Soviets want complete control of Berlin, which they did. Ever since the Soviets have captured Berlin, they have blocked off all roadways and transportation and are now low of supplies of food. Now, Todd here will inform you on what the U.S. is doing to help.
Thank you, Steve. What the U.S. did was about Great Britain flew around 277,000 flights into Berlin, and they would. I forgot where I left it. Britain flew around 277,000 flights into Berlin, and they would drop around 1,500 pounds of food each day. And for the kids, they would drop candy to keep them alive, and they would carry over 2.3 million tons of supplies in the city. On March 12, 1949, the Soviet Union stopped the blockade, and the airlift was over.
Bob here from DJG News, and we're here at the Berlin blockade. And right now we see a German at the other side. Sir, would you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Alright, so how is life trapped in there?
Pretty bad. There's only a little bit of food. There's a little bit of clothes, a little bit of everything.
Alright. Good intel. How does it feel to have your family out here while you're trapped in there?
It feels unfair because they have freedom and I don't.
Alright. Is the US helping in any way?
No, they are not.
Alright. To understand more about the Berlin blockade, we have received a recording, and the video will play now.
Endless cars of vitally needed coal are stalled by the Russian blockade of Berlin. But that is only part of the story. As the red noose is drawn closer about the western sector of the capital, switches are pulled on generators, and the fuel famine forces drastic power cuts. Berlin becomes a city of darkness as all ground communication is severed and industry comes to a standstill. But the Western Allies fight back with an airlift of 450 flights daily, carrying thousands of tons of food into the beleaguered capital, flying an air corridor threatened by red fighter planes. Backing up the shuttle are 60 B-29s, which arrive at an airfield in England, a base from which American planes once bombed Germany. Now these Yanks may fly on a mission of mercy, the feeding of hungry Germans in Berlin. These are the men whose nerve-wracking job it may be to fight their way through weather and red obstruction. So grave is the crisis that General Clay is recalled to Washington to report on the situation. He is greeted by Secretary of the Army Royal and then is welcomed by Chief of Staff Omar Bradley. On his shoulders may rest the responsibility for peace or war, and the Commander-in-Chief at the White House awaits his appraisal of the most explosive situation yet in the struggle between East and West.
Here are some statistics about the Berlin blockade. The Berlin had lasted about 318 days and used 275,000 planes to transport 1.5 million tons of supplies to the Berlin for the people inside the Berlin Wall. Thank you.
Alright, I'm here in Alabama with Mr. Aguilar. Can you please tell us what you think about the blockade?
I think that it is horrible, but the only good thing about it is that we are helping people.
What do you hope happens with this incident?
I hope that all of the U.S. efforts help all of the people that are trapped inside the wall.
Alright. Tell us how you feel about the United Soviet Social Republic and how you feel about communism.
Well, Todd, I feel like it is terrible because you can't express yourself and you're always being controlled and watched.
Alright. Thank you, Mr. Aguilar. I appreciate it. Buy Trident. It has more bursting flavor.